Clarence Johnson has been writing some very good stuff on the incompatibility between empire and war. I think one little reservation I would make about what Professor Chomsky was saying about the threat is if we have a few more, we keep generating terrorism, and we have a few more big terrorist incidents, this administration is very well prepared to crack down in a way that may go beyond what we've seen in the past. So I think if we're lucky, and if we don't have this self-generating process of creating terrorisms that then justify more repression, maybe we'll get through it. But I think there's a real threat here.
You'll notice it's a stylistic point. When Ed wants to disagree with me, I become Professor Chomsky.
But I can predict what's going to happen. The column will get in, and I have a question. I just need to say that. The column will get in, and it will be reposted by various people. I'm sure Danny Schechter will get to it. Common Dreams will pick it up. Among people all. Free Republic will pick it up. I will open my email tomorrow afternoon. There will be 400 fake emails calling you an anti-Semite, me an anti-Semite, anti-American, you know what you're. There might be 40 emails thanking me for doing this from the nice leaders of Common Dreams and Danny's leaders. A few lefty-type bloggers might also link to it, and that will be that. What we have will be an incredibly orchestrated effort from the right, totally predictable, and on the left will be very sporadic and fragmented effort. I heard a lot of people here talking about their alternative media efforts, whether it's Danny's TV channel or Reddit's Rattle and all kinds of other things, and I applaud all your efforts, but it is extremely fragmented. And it reminds me of what you were just saying, what was going on in the mid-19th century. So I'm wondering if you gentlemen would consider or talk about a political economic model for unmanufacturing. Oh, if I made it sort of an there is money out there. Somebody's funding raw media matters. Somebody's funding, George Soros is out there. Somebody's funding Huffington. There's a few charitable trusts and all those guys. There's capital.
There is capital, but capital doesn't work to undermine capital. You will find a few mavericks who will, but not the major institutions. They may want to, they do good things, a lot of them, but there are going to be limits. If anything is, from their point of view, subversive, that is, it's changing the structure of power and institutions, they're going to shy away from it because they're not interested in committing suicide. And if some CEO decided to do it, he'd be out in 3 seconds. You can get an individual benefactor, but that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is by mass popular organizations. And have done so repeatedly in the past. I mean, why does Canada have a health system? Was it granted by some philanthropy? It came out of labor struggles. In fact, Canada has a moderately decent health system. It's not the best in the world, but it sort of works. It works. But if you rank it with others, it's not at the top. In the United States, it's considered the best one in the world, but that's for a simple reason. In the United States, people know that Canada exists. France, they think it's somewhere in South Africa. So when people talk about another system, they say the Canadian system. But if you rank it, it's good, but there are better ones. But the reason it has it and the United States doesn't has to do a lot with the difference of the two labor movements. The labor movement in Canada worked, which was powerful, worked really hard to gain benefits, health benefits for everybody. The labor movement in the United States, which is much more fragmented, worked to gain benefits for itself. So United Auto Workers, they got, back in the 50s, good contracts for health care. Of course, now they're being decimated. You often want to, when you do things for yourself. When the auto workers, for example, got decent contracts for health care, they're as good as the Canadians. But they didn't go for the whole community. In Canada, the labor movement had more solidarity and social commitment, and they managed to get through a system for the country, which is also now being eaten away, as you know better than I do. Because capital never gives up. They're fighting a constant, permanent class war. They don't give up. But that's a typical example, and there are many of them, of how real successes were won. Pardon?
Sorry, how do we get past that?
How do we get past it? We just keep doing it. Now, it's easier now than it was just like 20 or 30 years ago. I mean, over time, that's not a constant process of progress, but over time, things do get better. There's more commitment, more involvement. A lot of rights that have been won, people aren't going to give up. Take, say, women's rights. It's a completely different situation now from what it was 30, 40 years ago. The same with minority rights. Native American rights. A long way to go, but it's much better than it was in the past. Opposition to aggression is much higher now than it was in the past. Contrary to a lot of people say, opposition to the Iraq War is far beyond opposition to the Vietnam War. Far beyond. At any comparable stage. You take a look at the time when there were 150,000 troops in Vietnam. There's practically no opposition. Public meetings, when you get hold of them, were being broken up violently by students with the liberal press cheering. This is different. It's not great. I don't want to make it sound like it's somehow wonderful, but it is an improvement. There was nothing 20 years ago like the social justice movements, the global solidarity movements, the kind that meet every year in some country city in the South, Porto Alegre, Mumbai, with plenty of northern participation. These things were unheard of not very long ago. So you keep starting from a higher level and you have more opportunities. But I don't think there's going to be any other answer until the structures of power are really dissolved. As long as they remain, it's only going to be a mass popular organization that can overcome them. The professor of communication is about it's like. These popular movements are a political and economic model for manufacturing. We don't know what's around. Look, when I was growing up, my family were working class. It was the 1930s, so mostly unemployed. But my seamstress aunts and my shop boy uncles and so on were mostly members of the Communist Party and the labor unions. They were highly educated, even though they had no schooling, and they were politically very alive. Because they were part of an ongoing, lively social movement, an explanation of CIO and other similar activities. But, that's the way things happen.
Okay, ditch that one.
Well, I have nothing much to add to that. I've always been impressed. Does it work now? How's this? I've been associated with many organizations that needed money, and we've always been impressed with the fact that although we have an incredibly large number of multimillionaires in the United States and billionaires, they don't cough up for progressive media causes. Well, most of them